So Team YouTube and I had a chat the other day where I presented the idea of an interview with the creator where YouTube can actually be transparent with us and we can actually have some sort of communication. The employee that I was talking to said that they love the idea of an interview or something more real, and so they might take me up on that. Well, I don't think that's going to be happening anymore. As I'm sure you guys are aware, over the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, YouTube has been really dragging their reputation through the mud with their AI moderation, lack of transparency on Twitter, and just their copy and paste responses that they keep getting exposed for. Now, obviously, YouTube has been making bad decisions for a lot longer than a few weeks, but this has been so bad. Like, basically, the last 3 or 4 weeks has been kind of like a PR nightmare for YouTube. They've been making Twitter news almost every single day over the last 3 weeks or so, and that's not a good thing because every single time they're making news, it's over people venting frustration over the ad surge, ad blockers, premium views, people getting banned over and over again, YouTube getting caught for their automated replies. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff that is just very, very bad. And we had like this big situation where there was like a lot of YouTube content creators that were getting banned, especially over the last 3 weeks or so. And according to YouTube, in their own words, only a handful of channels were restored out of the thousands of appeals that they've gotten in just the last few weeks. So it's just a situation right now where YouTube's AI moderation is on a rampage, and YouTube claims that all those decisions are made after careful human review. And this is something that we have proven false over and over again. I mean, I can just use my situation over and over again. And AI is in a position, and it pretty much always will be in a position where we can't really rely on it to be like the one that bans channels on YouTube and stuff like that, because it can't be held accountable. I mean, just for the sake of argument, I was using YouTube's AI chatbot the other day, and I asked it to summarize my latest video performance. Right over here, as you can see. Then they showed me the analytics of the first video I ever uploaded on my channel. Literally the first random video that I uploaded on my channel, a Fortnite video. They took this and they freaking gave me a little analytics for it. And remember that it's a YouTube AI studio bot or whatever. And if you think that YouTube isn't using a similar AI moderation system or a similar AI to make those decisions for our appeals and stuff, you're crazy. Obviously, YouTube is going to use similar type of stuff. So if it's making such a big mistake in summarizing my video, they pretty much did the exact opposite analysis of the video that I wanted. I asked them to summarize my latest video, and then they summarized the first video that I've ever done. So remember, these are the same AI that's reviewing your content and saying, sorry, after careful review, we're actually going to be deciding to keep your content banned. And I pretty much know the answer, but I'm trying to basically figure out right now why YouTube keeps leaving me on red and deciding not to do that interview with me. I guess I can give them an out and say, in fairness, they didn't agree to it per se. They just said that they loved the idea of it and they might take me up on it, so they didn't like verbally agree. But obviously, with the context of our conversation, it definitely seemed like they were open to the idea and keen on it. And so the only few things that I could think of on why they don't want to do this interview anymore and why they keep leaving me on red is maybe because they're mad that I show this conversation in a video. It's a possibility, right? Maybe they thought this conversation was going to be private or whatever, but that would make more sense if I was DMing an individual YouTube employee. Let's say I have like someone actual first and last name and we actually have this type of conversation and they agree to do an interview and maybe they want to keep it private until the date of the interview. But this is Team YouTube. This is an official YouTube account. I figured they would be okay with me sharing this type of stuff because obviously they're tweeting from YouTube's public Twitter account, their most used account where they actually handle customer service related issues. That's just kind of like a headcanon in my head. I could be wrong about that, but I think another reason why they might not want to do an interview with me anymore is because they probably realize how hard I would have actually gone in on them in the interview and the types of questions that I would have asked them. Even after our DM conversation, I've just been going ahead and quote retweeting YouTube and just like making fun of their tweets and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm kind of just trying to make some humor for the community, no pun intended. A lot of people are going through a tough time right now. Their channels have been banned. Privately behind the scenes, I've been trying to help some people out, but honestly, YouTube is not budging on certain people's channels, and we were able to get some people's channels back, like Old Money Luxury, shout out to him, and Daniel Chirwa, shout out to him as well. And also, I just think it's funny. I mean, these types of tweets I think are kind of funny because YouTube actually is just in a situation right now where they're acting like nothing really ever happened. They're making tweets about David After Dentist being 24 years old, and that's cool and all, a legendary video, and that's actually crazy that they're an adult now. But clearly they don't want to reference the Godzilla-sized elephant in the room, which is that tens of thousands of accounts have been banned over the last few weeks. And they released a statement that was absolutely awful, to be honest, where the statement was basically just like, yeah, you know, I think there's a big confusion on the terms of service of our YouTube videos and our YouTube community. Okay, well, the terms of service, did they all change within the last 2 or 3 weeks? Or was there just randomly a gigantic surge of people who decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and violate your guys' terms of service? It doesn't make any sense. Obviously, their AI moderation went through some sort of overhaul where they went through and banned a bunch of channels. And so for YouTube to say that there was no bugs in their system and it wasn't done by mistake at all is crazy, because I can prove that it was done by mistake. I mean, it happened to me. Endermanch is the guy who was like the main person behind this whole situation where he was trying to get his channel back. YouTube claimed to me in a DM conversation, Endermanch was so interested in this, he left a comment on one of my videos. They actually said, yeah, by the way, his whole thing, like, it wasn't a bug when we banned him. Like, it was actually like a legitimate ban. It was just like a little situation that we can't really share, but it's a private and unique situation to those channels, so they didn't want to give me any information about it. So, okay, fair enough. Let's say for argument's sake, the ban was legitimate, right? What about my false community guideline strike that I got recently in like the last 2 weeks? Most of you guys already know the story, but TLDR, I make a YouTube video about a channel exploiting kids. I am desperately trying to get YouTube's attention because that channel was absolutely disgusting. YouTube actually reached out to me and said, hey, you know, thanks for letting us know about this. We're going to ban this channel. We appreciate your support. I'm like, okay, cool. So I make a video and I'm like, YouTube, you guys really need to do better with, you know, making sure these channels don't make it on YouTube at all, because that channel was actually getting a lot of views and gaining a lot of subscribers, right? So I made that video, but then even in that video, even though I criticized them a bit, I was basically saying, yeah, you know, I do appreciate though that you guys banned this channel. Thank you for listening to me. They freaking community guidelines strike this video for child safety policy. Keep in mind, I showed nothing in the video, zero nudity, nothing. And so obviously when they do a strike, they claim that it's done by careful human review, right? So when they go ahead and do the strike, I actually make a video, I make a bunch of noise on Twitter, and I go for an appeal. And in my appeal, I basically said, listen, I wasn't doing anything to violate child safety policies. I was actually trying to help YouTube and thank them for banning that channel, right? And so guess what? They do another careful human review, right? We reviewed your content very carefully, and they reviewed it and said that it does violate the child safety policy. So basically, YouTube is claiming 2 different people looked at it, 2 very incompetent people, and they basically said, yeah, sorry, buddy, you are violating our child safety policy. Okay, so it should be done and dusted then, right? There's no bug. 2 humans looked at it, then I shouldn't get my content back, right? Oh, what happened? The strike got removed. So meaning a 3rd person looked at it, probably an actual real person. The first 2 are probably done by AI. And then all of a sudden they removed it. YouTube is going to tell me that that wasn't a bug. YouTube is going to tell me that it actually was 2 different people who were stupid and just didn't know how to watch the video. And the 3rd person is the only one with a brain who gave me the video back. It's just such a losing argument that YouTube always tries to fight when they're like, oh no, there was no bugs in our system at all. Our system's perfect. I mean, I just think that you guys don't understand the rules. So because I don't sugarcoat things and because I make videos talking in the way that I just did right now, I pretty sure YouTube has seen some of these videos and they're just like, okay, this guy's like not gonna like give us wiggle room to budge in this interview, because you know the types of interview questions that I would have asked, and this I might as well, you know, air this out because YouTube probably is not going to give me that interview anyways, but these are the types of stuff that I would have asked, right? So first of all, I would have started off with AI age verification. Obviously that's the biggest thing on YouTube right now, and I would have said, listen, do you guys like is this a permanent thing? Like, you guys really think this is going to help kids by having people just hand over their IDs and, you know, have to entrust you with all of our information? Are you guys doing this because of pressure from the government, or do you guys actually think this is a great way to protect kids? So, you know, we would have came out like, you know, hot out of the gate, and, you know, there probably would have been some stumbling involved and maybe looking through notes or whatever from YouTube's end. But, you know, that's, I mean, you know, I got to give people what they want to see. I'm not going to go ahead and do the interview and be like, yeah, YouTube, I actually really like your guys' animated like buttons. I think you guys should do more of those. No, man, we're not here for this shit. You know, we're here for an actual interview. I'm not going to be rude about it, and I'm not going to, you know, be swearing at them or anything, but I have to ask some hard questions, and I'm not going to let them budge and, you know, basically try to like filibuster the conversation and take it somewhere else. You got to make sure that if we're going to do an interview, I got to ask the right type of questions. My second question probably would have been, hey, listen, you guys have a huge comment bot and ad nudity problem on your website where there's tons of inappropriate content. If you go and look at any of the ads on the website, it's just a bunch of nudity anywhere. Do you guys actually like review those before you approve them, or do they just end up on your website? And is there anything we can actually do to make sure those nudity ads aren't on the website? In terms of comments, there's a group called the UTTP, a bunch of fucking losers who go in the comments and talk about violating animals and stuff like that. And they claim that they have videos to, you know, inappropriate stuff in their channel descriptions. Are you guys going to do anything about that? Can you guys create some sort of CAPTCHA system where they have to actually like do it before they leave a comment or something like that? I would have put pressure on YouTube, basically, is what my point is. So I'm pretty sure YouTube understands that, and that's why they're not going to be doing this type of interview with me. But to be honest, they shouldn't have given me and the community a bunch of false hope. I've been getting a bunch of messages since I talked about this whole interview thing, and they're like, dude, Deep, we really hope you get that interview. You know, please make sure you ask them these types of questions. Like, a lot of people are looking forward to it. And so again, like, just to clarify, I know YouTube didn't agree to the interview. They didn't say, yes, we are going to do the interview, but they did say, you know, they love the idea and they might take me up on it, right? Now, I don't want to get this person in trouble. Obviously, you know, none of their information is out, like no one knows who this is, but, you know, this person might be genuine with it, and maybe YouTube told him to shut up, and, you know, him or her to shut up and said, don't do the interview with me. But my point is that, you know, YouTube, I feel like, understands they're in a very bad position right now, I really think this interview would have helped out a lot, personally. I mean, as long as they gave me real, genuine answers, I feel like they would have gotten a lot of respect from the community. If you guys want to see this interview, then let me know, man. But yeah, please be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more. See ya.